Okay. What do I say about that? What do you say about that? You see it? You go, am I live now? Hello, hello.
You're live.
Can you hear me? Okay, gotcha.
We're good. It's TGIF Friday.
Okay, now let's go live. Hey,
Yes.
y'all. Happy Friday. Let the fun begin. Today, Friday, the day that is supposed to represent relief, anticipation, and a shift towards relaxation, social activity, and leisure.
All right.
Crap. For me, I must have missed Friday. Welcome, one and all. Today is the second Monday of this week. Due to a lack of interest on my part, Friday has been canceled. I'm Rayford Brown. This is live and local real talk, and I'm feeling more like Walter, the old reprobate dummy that belongs to Jeff Dunham. So, my partner in crime, what's up with you? Try to top that one.
I have no words. I'm happy it's Friday. It was a long week. Did a lot of traveling this week. No travel tonight.
You've seen the highways and the byways of the backwards parts of North Carolina, right? Eastern North Carolina.
I've developed an issue with my truck. So we'll see how that goes.
Time to trade that sucker in.
No, it's only got 25,000 miles on it.
It's worn out. It's just flat worn out. Is it over 3 years old?
It's a 22. So
I got a 44.
By the car industry.
I got 44s. I prefer 44s over 22s.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyway,
they do a much better job. You don't have to fire them once.
It's going to be a beautiful weekend.
So you say.
So nice this weekend.
That's what you claim.
Yeah.
Here and they're already talking about getting weather or ready for the hurricane season.
Oh, I missed the conversation last night. So weather radio
coming up in May.
Right.
In Onslow County, there will be a number of locations. They're still working on all of them. There will be a number here and in surrounding counties. Donnie Cox, my buddy over there, WCTI, the weatherman.
He signed my last weather radio.
The weatherman that I failed to hire when he came to apply for a job. And he's reminded me of that several times. Well, I had the number one meteorologist in the world, so as far as I was concerned.
Who was your meteorologist?
George Elliott. You never paid attention.
No,
George was a quirk. He was an oddity. But he presented the weather so that people could understand what he was saying.
Okay.
And getting rid of the gobbledygook. But, he just explained it. And he was also he was the most accurate guy that I've ever had.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
We used to give away umbrellas. If his high at a particular location, he would pick a location. If the temperature the next day varied more than 2 degrees plus or minus from what he predicted, they got an umbrella.
Well,
we didn't give away many umbrellas.
Well, let me ask you about umbrellas. Why is it that umbrellas and sunglasses are 2 items that you can walk out the door with and not return with? What is it about losing sunglasses in your umbrellas?
It's better than walking out the door and losing your underwear.
Well, okay, that's a great analogy. Start the morning here. Did you lose your underwear? Did you come back with them on?
Were they inside out? Was your shirt on backwards? Where was the label?
I've done that before. Gone to work with my shirt on backwards or inside out or 2 different shoes.
People have a lot of things to say about that, did they?
Well, they're like, what'd you do last night? 2 different shoes.
Where were you last night?
Well, it was getting up at 3:00 in the morning in the dark and getting dressed.
We had a reporter that somebody came to work that a male counterpart of hers friend, and he said, "You left your earring last night. Here you go in the class and in the newsroom."
Yeah, good. Okay.
Whoops.
I put mine back on. Well, I changed them last night, so
wait.
Of course, I didn't match my Cardinal shirt, so I put the other ones back on this morning. Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's there's a bunch of mess going on out there, and I don't even know where to start. I listened to the president yesterday for 2 hours, maybe 2 hours. I got caught up in what he was saying, but there were points there, and I'm like, Why are you doing that? Who is writing this crap for you? Mr. President, you
know.
could do a whole lot better if you hire me, and I'd do it a lot cheaper, I'm sure. And I'd do it from here because I dang sure don't want to be up yonder. We got the internet; you can read it. But I watched about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, could be 2 hours, because I don't even remember what time I tuned in.
That's unusual for
It
you.
is. It's ridiculous for me. Now I know what. This is why I'm like I am
ridiculous.
today. While the president was first addressing reporters yesterday, that's what I was watching. He
Right.
had a bunch of them there, and he was talking to them first. He talked about Iran, go figure, like what else is there going on, gave some background information to a bunch of, here we go. You ready? This is where my strike one came. For the most part, young reporters who never cared about anything that happened more than a month ago. They don't care.
That's true.
And while
That's
they
true.
were playing around in school, earning their degrees and reporting stuff was happening, and they didn't care. They lived for the moment, one moment at a time. I think they still do. Two thoughts totally boggle their minds. They cannot juggle two processes at the same time. They cannot. I found the president's remarks interesting but confusing. Obviously, he was reading material that I don't think he had actually seen before, because he was stumbling over a lot of it. It did not flow. Like I say, you need to fire somebody. I'll work half price.
Well,
He
maybe he was
covered
having
as
a
best
bad
he
day.
could, but he would have been better with a half page of notes instead of this stuff that he had to read
Yeah. Mm.
without advance looking at it.
Right.
I've had news anchors who could walk on the set, never having seen the script, knowing absolutely nothing about the story, and never make a flub up. I've had anchors who were just the opposite. If this president had notes, just some notes so he would know what's coming up next, topic, Iran, subject, tomahawk, and he would just go, and then he could talk
Right.
about the tomahawks
Right.
without reading a bunch of stuff.
And all that
Because
other-
I think he's very familiar with what's the subject matter. Problem is, when he reads somebody else's crap about it, you screw up.
Well, I find that's a hit and miss. There are times when you can tell he's reading a prompter
Oh yeah,
and he does a very good job. But, these are like short speeches, short talks.
Mhm.
I have found that I can't read it cold. I will flub it up.
Oh,
Yesterday, I practiced most of the day for my speech last night and went in there, and I feel like I knocked it out of the park.
well, good.
I got a lot of
Well-
good response from it, but that's because I kept reading it and had it in my head and my words down.
The old days of non-radio news, but we had to read the news, right? At
Right.
the top
Yes,
of the
I
hour, the
remember
bottom of the
that.
hour. We called it rip and read because there is a teletype machine going
And the shuffling of papers.
in the
Yep.
background. Well, over there. So you go out during a break. You got a record that's running, and it's a minute and 58 seconds long, or 2 minutes and 29 seconds. That's what the length of the songs used to be somewhere, not very long. 2:11 was about normal, 2 minutes and 11
Right.
seconds.
Right.
Those were good days. Those are top 40 days. Now they can drag on and on and on. We had one record we kept over there. We called it the Johnny record.
Yes.
It was Hey Jude by the Beatles.
Oh,
7
hey,
minutes
Jude.
and 11 seconds
Yes.
long. I can,
Yes.
go out and cook a meal in that length
Yes.
of time. Run down the street and pick up something.
Yes.
But seriously, we would rip and read. I ripped and read.
you
and
ripped
that
and
was
read?
I ripped and read a
Ripped and read.
and a particular story back in the 60s, and when there was a guy named Hubert Humphrey running for
Mhm.
president, and AP screwed up. So I read it just like it was written. Pre-read? No. You grab it off the teletype, you run in,
Right.
and you kick your mic on because the news opening is playing, right?
Right.
And I read, Hubert Humphrey was sick in bed with the gripes today. GRIPE.
Yeah, that's another word for like.
No, it's not. It's grip. GRIPPE. It's like a cold or whatever. It's an old school
Okay.
process of calling some kind of sickness.
Yeah,
He's
like-
got the grip.
The,
But
like
they misspelled it and
crud.
called it the gripe, the
Right.
crud.
the
They
crud.
called it the gripe.
Right.
And that's what I read. I got a call and said,
Well,
you know what? He probably was sick in bed because he gripes all the time.
that's exactly why I have to read first. I found it's better for me to read
It was
first because
hilarious.
I found a lot of repetition in what was written, and I had to go back and fix that. But I'll never forget someone that I know that was speaking on a national level from North Carolina, having to do with the Republican Party, and was given a speech. And evidently,
Didn't have a chance to pre-read it.
no, because her hyperbole, she kept saying hyperboil. And every time she would say that, I'm like, hyperboil. Hyperbole. See, and so I know it's because she read it cold.
You know, when producers who know that anchors are going to be reading their material back in the good days, they would, if there was a strange word, particularly when you get those foreign names out there,
Right.
that you don't know what they are until you've heard it a billion times, right?
You know how I am.
And then when these guys get that,
Flub
what
it in
they
a
would do,
heartbeat.
the good producers would put in parentheses how
Phonetic.
phonetically. And
Yes.
that's the good reporters. AP used to do it all the time for broadcasts.
I've done that before when I've had to get up and give a talk, and I
for yourself?
for myself, I'll put in parentheses, because last week was a week before last. I had to get up and give a short talk, and I had not done my homework before I got up there, and I came across a couple words. I'm like looking at them, and I'm like, how can I skip over this word real quick? Because it was a word that I was not familiar with. I didn't want to misspeak it, mispronounce it. And so read your stuff. I have to read mine first.
Well, in the address yesterday, it became apparent to, I think, everybody out there, except those suffering from TD, care less what's going on because Trump is giving the info that Iran was, without any doubt, weeks, if not days away from being able to launch a small nuclear device into Israel. What I just said was the facts. And this is kind of what he was giving yesterday.
Yes.
And of course, he's being challenged on it. He says Iran was only weeks away from being able to launch something, a small nuclear device. They couldn't send it to us because they're too far away. They're practicing, but Israel is obviously within range because they've been dropping missiles in there. Why do you think they're dropping these test missiles into Israel? To aggravate them and kill them? I think they're just getting the range. They're just figuring out what missile will do best if they put a nuclear device on it. Now, here's the problem with this. Yes, Israel has a bunch of what they call Patriot missiles, the anti-missile barrage that they can fire up there. You've seen those, right? It looks like a
right.
Well, even if one of those devices is inbound and it's got nuclear stuff on it, and they set it off, and there is a nuclear explosion overhead. You know where the nuclear bombs are set to go off? Do you think there's when they make impact on the ground? No. They're set to go off above the ground. Why? Because they spread more radiation that way. If it hits the ground, the radiation spread is much less. They want it to go off high so they can cover a larger area, a broader location. So their time, I think, is it 500 feet? Something, I don't know what, I don't remember. But their time to go off up yonder in the air.
Well,
that's it. But anyway, the whole point is he's being blasted, of course, I'm sure. I haven't read too much today for saying that, the reason we did this now is because Iran, according to our intel and according to Israeli intel, they were within weeks, and I'm going to say they probably were within days. They have found nuclear material. They've been finding it. They got readings for it. They can do it electronically to a certain extent. And we destroyed two of their locations. We blew them up. They can't do it anymore there. They had enough intact, ready to go. Final processes of making bombs with it. They had enough to make, I think they say, 8 bombs, 8
Yes, that's
serious
what I
nuclear
heard.
devices.
Right.
So
Had we waited,
we took out. Yeah, if we waited, we'd be different today. We'd be in a different world today.
absolutely.
Because the fallout over Israel and the surrounding area, because it doesn't have borders. When it goes off, it can go a long ways, and it can drift a long ways. That's the other thing. Iran's got a lot of missiles. They've got fewer than they had. Obviously, for the last 15 years or so, they've been building missiles, building a lot of missiles. That's interesting. They don't have any real long-range missiles that we know about. We haven't seen any tests of those.
Right.
I don't think we will until it's time.
Well, we're sending a slew over now.
Yeah, we've got missiles. We're sending a bunch, and we have what they call intercontinental ballistic missiles. Russia does, China does. Not sure about the other countries, but there are a number of countries with common sense that have it. So hopefully, we should all make sure, even Russia should team up to make sure that Iran, which is a rogue nation, and every leader they put into place is a nut. I mean, y'all think our president speaks and goes kind of crazy like? He's a wild card. A wild card is one thing, but when you've got a guy who is executing, he orders the execution of a 19-year-old kid or 19-year-old man. Hopefully they were accurate in whatever when they executed this wrestler, because the fellow Olympians, he was an Olympics wrestler. Hopefully they had the goods on him really good, because if they did not, there's going to be a serious problem from within. They claim he was found guilty. No, we didn't hear about any trials that I can recall. Found guilty for being part of the murders of 2 police officers. Part of it. Anyway, he and 2 others were hanged. If they were guilty, and hanging is their method of, execution, which it is, but they did it publicly. They did it to make a statement. Asked many times, what about public executions? Wouldn't they be good? Wouldn't they be doing something that would, be a deterrent to others? No, it would not. They'd make people sick. There are not many people out there who can watch somebody die in an execution and walk away feeling like, okay, that serves a purpose.
Right.
You ever seen the witnesses come out from an execution? They're shell shocked. They stand there and look, and some of them will get up and have something to say, but not. They are like, oh God, what did I just watch? What did I just see? We had a 16-year-old, the son of our boss, big boss, the corporate boss.
Right.
He was working during the summer times with the news team in Wilmington years ago, and he went out with the reporter. The call was a overhead vehicle came into contact with the high power line. This guy was killed.
Oh my gosh.
And this little kid who had not grown up at all at age 16, he was a rowdy little brat.
Oh my gosh.
Privileged brat. You know what I mean?
Right.
He came back into the newsroom. He's very quiet. And what was his name?
Sure.
Robert. I said, Robert, come on in and sit down for a minute. And I said, you okay? What's going on? He said, I just saw a dead man. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he said, this morning when he got up, he probably had breakfast with his wife and maybe his kids and stuff. And now he's dead. And I just saw this.
That's hard.
Welcome to news. So anyway.
Wow. I do want to bring up something that just hit yesterday.
What's that?
It's a new video out on YouTube, and it is from a podcast called After the Call. It's a very long interview with our former Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson.
Oh,
I
boy.
listened to it last night, and I got all the way down to the last 15 minutes. And I want to tell you, there was parts of it that made me pure cry.
You felt bad?
It just
mad?
it's no, it was very emotional parts of it. I'm gonna put the link on the page today for people who want to go watch it. But Rayford, it's long, it's like an hour and a half. You need to watch it because I'm not sure how I feel, but listening to it, it'll make you understand how dark politics can be at times.
Ooh, no kidding.
And it also makes you look at, if you're going to run for a public office, you better whitewash all your past social media posts. I mean, people will go after anything they can find to make you look bad. I will say that Mark Robinson in this podcast, he did admit to a lot of stuff that he denied before. He had reasons for it, whether you want to believe it or not. It's a I don't want to give away too much because I want people, if you want to listen to this, go into it with an open mind and just sit back. But listening to it, I saw a lot of the things that I absolutely liked about Mark Robinson, what made me like him in the beginning. I listened to his stories about his childhood and growing up, and it broke my heart. And then I listened to him explain about why he did what he did. It's up to you as an individual, whether you want to forgive that person, look past it, or whatever. But I can't. You have to watch it and form your own opinion. And I'm telling you, it is well worth watching. But I'm going to send you the link, and as you're sitting around working on stuff or whatever and don't have to think too much about what you're doing, you need to listen to this podcast. It's really, really good.
I have a hard time, and I've said many times, I can forgive you. I will never forget.
Mm-hmm.
I will always get even if you do something.
Right.
If you do something to me, in his case, I felt like at the time I was being scammed a bit when he was running for governor.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he announced that he was going to run, I said, you know what, Lieutenant Governor, no big deal. It's a throwaway position, to be honest with
Right.
you. It's your step towards something else if you have anything to offer.
Right.
We had Lieutenant Governors. Jimmy Green, was it, that was in office for 400 years, I think.
Yeah.
He was, I mean, literally, he was just there. I believe it was Jimmy Green. But Mr. Robinson, he conned us. He really did. He conned us. And he did it with malice aforethought.
That's your opinion.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
My
right,
opinion is
right,
my opinion.
yes.
He conned us,
Mhm.
and he did it with malice aforethought because he wanted desperately to be governor. Now, here's the problem. The only reason that he got to where he was is because he got up and made a great speech in front of the Greensboro City Council for basically a non-issue. In reality, when you look at it, they wanted to forbid gun shows from operating within the city limits.
Right.
They couldn't get enough votes on city council to make it happen, but they were discussing it.
Mhm.
So he got up and made a speech. You know, did he never owned a gun? He didn't have one at that time, had never owned a gun. But he sounded like he did in the speech.
Well-
Sounded like he was speaking for gun rights.
The only.
So he did that.
Mhm.
But then somebody propelled this man because we got a really well-speaking, articulate,
Very intelligent.
happens to be
yes.
African American,
Mhm.
happens to be a formidable-looking individual.
Yes.
Okay, let's put him into office. I don't know how long he was a Republican before he ran for office. Do you?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, but anyway, they was
For quite a while.
he was propelled into office, and by others that should not have taken advantage of him.
Well, there's a lot of people like that, though.
Yeah, there are.
Mhm. Look at the local races.
There are a lot who get thrown into office that
Yeah.
probably didn't want to be there in the first place,
Or shouldn't be there.
and
but-
definitely should not be there.
Should
But
not.
that's generally
Right.
themselves who want to do that. But this guy did it. But then he served his time. But then he gets out of the lieutenant governorship, or while he was in there, he started campaigning hard,
Mhm.
which we all knew he was going to do.
Right.
And he became,
Then CNN dug up some dirt.
when it looked like he was a possibility to become governor.
Yeah.
All of what happened, what he did and everything would have come out.
Well, 8 weeks from election, CNN dug up some dirt on him.
Or they didn't do it on themselves. They were given the information.
Well, regardless, CNN is the one that put it out to begin with.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm not making excuses for the
Don't
man,
kill the messenger. He's the one that did
but
it.
I'm saying that when you're running for something like, if he had run for lieutenant governor again, you probably would have not heard this, but he was running for governor, which is a whole different
Well,
ball game.
they had
And
Cooper's machine was
You see
well versed in it.
the darkness of politics at work behind the scenes.
Of course you did.
And I've seen that locally way back in the past, not currently, way back in the past with different players.
Do you feel that he disappointed you in what he
I
did?
do feel like I was very disappointed
So you were conned.
no, I wouldn't say conned. I would not say conned. You have to listen to it.
You believed him though, right?
I believed in him, and I believed that he would have made a good steward of the political world, but things that happened in his past that he's changed I don't want to give away you have to watch
If
it.
he'd come forward out of the chute and said, "Listen up, here's my background.
But you don't do
Here's
that.
some issues. I know you don't."
Yeah.
And then it cost him the governorship.
Yes, it did. It did. And I felt like that the things that did come out did cost him his political career.
Mhm.
I don't think he'll ever go back into politics again.
I don't think he can.
He's destroyed on that. But I do see other things in the future for him if what he said on this podcast holds true. I want to believe him.
Do you believe him now?
He came out with the truth last night.
Would
I mean,
you-
he admitted a lot of stuff.
Would you take it to the bank and everything that he told you last in the podcast or whatever?
Well, do you believe in giving people second chances?
I didn't ask you that. Do
No,
you-
but
do you
I'm
believe
just
him?
saying that
Do you believe him?
I have got like 15 more minutes of it to watch. I just got tired last night. But I will say that I really felt like he was being sincere and honest last night. As far as do I believe what he said? Let's just say I want to believe 100% what he said. I want to. But, I sit back and I think, we put so much into you,
Mhm.
so much into your campaign, so many miles we walked, so much money we helped, and all this stuff, and then all this comes out, and it was extremely disappointing. So I think that he's got bigger shoes to fill. I think he could take his life experiences elsewhere and be effective for people who need
He would
it.
be a great preacher.
Oh, absolutely, the man can preach.
Yeah.
But I put
Would
the
you believe what he
links
says though?
on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to do a separate post later today for those that would like to watch it.
Okay.
And I'd love to hear your comments on it. And Rayford, if you can sit yourself still for the time and watch it, even if you have to watch in segments, it's a good watch. It got me extremely emotional a couple times.
Okay.
But it's a must watch. It just came out. So it came out yesterday. It's already got about 8,000 hits on it. But I imagine by the weekend.
I question his motivation now. What's going on?
I don't think there was any motivation. I think it was just like being on, getting the truth out and admitting.
That would be his motivation.
And facing his lies.
Okay. So that's his motivation.
Yeah. I felt like, he wanted to put it all out there, and he did.
So he's got you. The Marine forecast, he's got you.
What do you mean he's got me?
You and 7,999 other people. You said he had 8,000 hits.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not saying that there was no getting me. It's just like you just have to watch it. You have to watch it. Don't be negative. Be open-minded and watch it. See, you're negative before you even hit the play button.
I have. I know the history first, so
so do I.
You got to get back up to zero before I can be open-minded.
Well,
now you're in the toilet.
Maybe this is a star for him. Maybe
I
so.
hope it is for him.
I would like to see that also. And like I said, extremely disappointed in the past. So we'll see.
Not going to loan him any money. The Marine forecast, looking towards the weekend today, offshore out to 20 nautical miles. Who else? Anybody out there agree? Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming easterly this afternoon. 3 to 5 foot seas. There'll be 2 to 3 near shore. Not a bad day today. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 15 to 20, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas 4 to 6. Pick it up a little bit, close to shore, 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers chopping, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Sunday, southerly winds 5 to 10, becoming southwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 2 to 4 footers. Looking fairly decent on Sunday. Saturday's okay, but you better have the right boat and the right skipper or somebody at the helm, and you can do it. The 4 to 6 foot seas. Stay closer to shore, and you'll be a little bit better off, okay, on Saturday. The winds on Sunday, southerly 5 to 10, becoming southwesterly 10 to 15. Seas 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
Nice. Okay. Today, sunny with a high near 71. Calm wind to be coming southwest around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, a slight chance of showers, increasing clouds with a low around 50. Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 80. And Sunday, sunny with a high near 84. We're climbing back up. And the weatherman said this morning that we shouldn't have a freeze for a while, but there is still a possibility of getting a freeze.
Until April 15th there is.
That's right.
All right. Okay, looking around the neighborhood, Randy out in his neighborhood in the southwest area, he's driving his golf cart around with his faithful companion, Boomer. Mm-hmm. 32 degrees there, 99% humidity, 29.94 inches of mercury. And the winds are out of the northwest, not much to them. Calm, clear, nothing in the rain gauge. Nobody's had any rain over the last 24 hours. Carroll and Dale up there in Riverbend, 32 degrees, 98% humidity. And again, the winds are calm there. There are none. Joe down in the borough, oh boy, he's cool. 37 degrees in Swansboro, 42 degrees because he got over to the beach at Emerald Isle. He's ready to start walking the beach again. 42 degrees on the beach, 96% humidity, 30.02 inches of mercury at Swansboro. No wind, no rain. Brian also called in this morning from the borough. He lives not too far away from Joe's. 37 degrees there also, 76% humidity, 29.87 inches of mercury, and no wind, no rain. Ward, across the creek there, across the White Oak River in Cedar Point, 41 degrees, 89% humidity, 30.27 inches of mercury, no wind and no rain, and a little bit of wind out of the northeast at about 3 or so. Ken over in Oslo Bay, my buddy down there, 37 degrees, 77% humidity, no rain there as well. Craig called in for Bridgelands on his way to work this morning. He had 36 degrees in his truck headed for work. So I haven't heard from Craig for a while. Two guys checked in from Massachusetts, one 31 degrees, the other 35 degrees. Nobody had any new precipitation, and their barometers were falling. Lee over in the Woodlands, 36 degrees this morning, 88% humidity, 30.20 inches of mercury and falling. No wind, no rain here in the country club area. It's currently 33 degrees, 99% humidity, 60. What else we got here? 30.04 inches of mercury, and we've had no rain. And right now the winds are totally calm. I haven't seen any all night of any consequence.
Well, the first day of spring in 2026 is on March 20th.
Yay. Well, that's today.
That's right. March by the spring equinox. The date signifies the beginning of astronomical spring.
And we're supposed to spring forward another hour today.
And the northern hemisphere starts to receive more daylight and warmer temperatures. The exact time of the equinox may vary slightly depending on the time zone, but it typically occurs around 11:46 ET. ET?
Eastern time.
Why don't I say EST?
That's Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, Eastern. You know, just let's have one time. Just Eastern the EDT and the EST and
y'all wouldn't have nothing to complain about.
Just like, I don't care. As long as I wake up every morning, I'm happy.
Well, that's always a good thing. You don't need to watch for that one, though. No. Okay, so what's going to happen next? First, here's what, if I was suggesting things to our president to take a look at. First,
we're back on
secure the Strait of Hormuz. It needs to be secured.
They're working on that, right?
Well, I know they are. Mm-hmm. If Iran, but we're not getting out there doing probably what we could do. We're definitely not doing what we could do. We got to make sure no mines are put in there. That's the first thing.
Oh,
those idiots that play in the sand. They want to put mines in the strait there, and that will really cause some havoc. If they continue firing missiles at passing ships, then we need to return 10 times over as much fire straight into Iran. It would be wise for Iranians living anywhere near any military facilities to head for the hills. That would be my strong suggestion. Y'all don't, because collateral damage will happen. Y'all shoot one missile towards a ship, we send 10 back your way. Okay? Right. We'll aim at the military places, but you folks who have chosen to hang around where the military is operating, I'm sorry. Second, destroy the site of the third nuclear lab. We've done 2. They were relatively easy to get to. They know where it is. It's pinpointed. The problem is it's 100 yards or more underground. And this ground is not dirt. This ground is granite. It's on a mountain.
Yes.
Okay. They can create a cave there if you can get the right bunker buster. Take 2. Bunker busting bombs. If you can get the right one to go in and dig and get down to where it needs to be and go boom, boom, you got a cave and a tunnel getting to it. So far, the U.S. has avoided going into the interior of Iran. I'm glad. We don't need to go into the interior if we can help it. The problem is Iran is moving. They got mobile missile launching pads, right?
Right.
They take them up to a big old truck. They take them somewhere else and then launch them. That is an issue. When they go up next to a school, next to a church, or next to a shopping center, and they start launching missiles from that location, we know where they're coming from. You're going to get shot. Now, when the missile goes boom, boom that we send into you, there's going to be collateral damage. So if you're living in Iran and you hear a missile go off, take it off, going away out of the area, don't celebrate, run. Because something's going to be coming back. I suspect I strongly suspect that about 2,200 Marines will be in the area within a day or so. There's an Iranian
2
controlled
weeks.
island
Mhm.
just off the coast. Until 50 years or so ago, it was mostly a barren piece of landscape, nothing there. Then they discovered oil. Over the decades, the Iranians have drilled wells and pumped millions, if not billions, of barrels of oil, loading it onto as many as 10 super tankers at the docks they built on the island at the same time. They've got facilities on this little barren island, this old rock, to put 10 big ships there at one time. Okay? No,
Right.
do not sink those ships. We can seize them, take the oil. Not a problem with that. Drive it over here. The island also has a landing strip. What's important about that landing strip? We don't really want to destroy the area. We can use that strip when we get ready to take over. The oil is valuable, of course, but the runway, well, not a runway where what's left of Iran's air forces uses a whole lot. They don't. I mean, it's not that. It's a small strip. It has become the launching location of those stupid little drones that Iran is sending towards the United States and Israeli targets. Those drones cost about 200 times as much to take them out as they actually cost Iran.
Yeah, it's true.
It costs us $1 million or so for a
Right.
stupid missile to take out a $20,000 piece of plastic.
That's right.
We now have sent A-10 Warthogs. Those are planes. They were getting ready to be scrapped. They're slow. They only run about 450 knots. But that's kind of what they need. They can hang on the area. They got a lot of fuel on board. They can hang out there for 6 to 8 hours without having to go back for refueling.
Right.
That can be really effective. They're very effective in dealing with the nasty little drones too. And they're using much less expensive firepower to do that job. They've got the capability, and we've got the missiles that we can shoot down other missiles. And it doesn't cost as much. I suspect the little landing strip may be put out of action soon. If not, then here's what I think will happen. U.S. Marines will land on that island and secure it. This now belongs to us. There will be no oil shipped anywhere until the issues are resolved. Iran needs to continue selling oil. If they can't, then it's doubtful that their allies will front them any cash. That's what is going through Iran's mind. You know, if we can't supply them oil, what good are we to them? None. Y'all should have thought about that earlier.
I need to fill up.
If the U.S. can provide enough security with Israel's assistance to secure the Strait of Hormuz, I think all nations in the Middle East will be celebrating. They'll be happy.
Right.
All of those countries are losing because shipping companies are concerned about sending their ships into the zone. Trump was not doing a good job trying to explain this. I will give you that. I'm sure his folks have more access to what I'm saying than I do. I think I've seen a couple black SUVs. They've been hovering around me because they're saying, where are you getting this information?
Just warn me. They start to come through the gate. I'll be first out that door.
No, you put your hands up.
I'm running.
If it says black SUVs, you run, you just go to jail tired.
Yeah, well, it said here that the Pentagon made the decision to send the 31st MEU from California. In fact, it's 2,200 troop force.
Yep.
But they said it could take up to 2 weeks or the end of March before the unit is in place, and its presence unlikely to significantly shift the dynamics of the war on its own.
But wait and see.
Yeah, but like you said, the MEU would likely be used to conduct raids across the Iranian shoreline to gain a foothold in areas across a crucial oil shipping waterway.
I think for sure they're going to
Hormuz.
take that island.
Yes.
I mean, I would.
Yes.
I would. First of all, you don't want them continuing shipping oil to places. You cut off that food supply to other countries and make it difficult for these countries they're friendly with Iran.
Right.
Why would they be friendly with Iran? What else does Iran have to offer them? Nothing, honey.
Well, I have a feeling this weekend it's going to escalate.
Now here's the big thing that some little twit kept harping on yesterday, and Trump, they kept harping on it because he would not answer the question directly about the Tomahawk missile that hit a school or came close to it or did whatever. And a death series of, I don't know how many people were killed. Was there just one or two or four? What do you know?
The last thing I read was a total of 10.
Okay. I know
But
there
it
were
goes
I knew
back
there were
and forth.
casualties. Yeah.
So
But anyway, he was asked 3 times. All this deals with what they say are the remains of a U.S. Tomahawk missile that struck that school.
right.
It's hard to deny it if it's there because it's easily traceable.
Agree.
It might have Tomahawk written on the side of it or a
Right.
big hatchet. Who knows? I don't know. I've seen them, seen dummies of them anyway. His
Right.
original response to the question was that other countries have the missiles they bought from us.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good explanation because you can counter that real easy. Second try, he said, well, perhaps the missile was one that managed to get into Iranian hands after we sold it to one of a half dozen countries. He's digging the hole deeper because the facts are there and the
Right.
facts have already been put out for the
Right.
most part. He finally, reluctantly admitted that he's not sure where the missile came from. Obviously, leaving the possibility that, yes, it went awry, missing its intended target, and hit the school. As simple as somebody entering a wrong latitude, longitude position and programming it into that missile, and they put it off by a couple of degrees.
Right.
A few degrees, and you just don't hit what you want to hit.
Right. Right.
From what I know, it's obvious that he's convinced it was a Tomahawk. He knows it was a Tomahawk. We have indeed sold Tomahawks to several countries, including England.
Yes, we have.
But it's unlikely any of these countries turn any of those Tomahawks over to Iran. Why
Very
would
true.
they?
Very true.
Otherwise, the president would have revealed that there are several countries, including Russia, that have built similar missiles themselves. But it's obvious that this was a Tomahawk. Russia has one similar missile that's even more sophisticated and more powerful than the Tomahawks we build. It's likely the Tomahawk was fired by us. And that's what he didn't say it that way, but he said, we're looking into all possibilities.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that was a whole nother, that was bad.
It's just say it. There's going to be, unfortunately, collateral damage. There's going to be friendly fire. There are going to be mistakes made at any
Right.
operation.
Right.
You feel awful. What do you say? I'm sorry. That's not enough. What do you do? Well, there's not a lot I can do. I can't bring your children back.
Right. Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's horrible. It's
I'm
a casualty of war. And
It's
you have a lot of innocence.
and then we try not to make those mistakes again.
Right, right. Innocent people get killed. They get caught in the crossfire, so to say.
They get caught in our own crossfires
That's
from time to
right.
time. We have killed our own people more times than you even check a stick at.
Well, that's like 6 of the 10 that they listed as being killed. 6 of them were from the airplane that crashed. The plane, not the airplane, but the was
It's a plane.
C-35, CK, whatever. The refueler. Yes. The refueling plane.
Just letting you dig the hole.
Well, go ahead
There were two
correct me.
there were 2 tankers out there.
Right.
And one of them, the other tanker was not
Right.
refueling, but it was getting into place to relieve this one. And when it did, it clipped
Yes.
the top of the plane and it went down.
So I'm
And,
trying to think of what was a refueling plane.
You're talking about the HC 130s
Yeah,
or 135s. They're designated differently for different divisions of our armed forces.
Right here. Yeah. Let me see.
C-35
The KC 135.
Okay.
No, that's what I was trying to get to. The KC, and I couldn't think what it was. Yes. KC 135.
KC and the Sunshine Band. Think about that next
Yeah,
time.
I'll think about that the next
figured you
time.
would.
Absolutely. I have a feeling this weekend is going to rev up.
New York's mayor's mad.
You know what? Who cares? New York City is going to become like a big, huge
Septic tank.
HOA
Septic
with
tank.
him being the CEO of the HOA.
Is anybody like the CEO of HOAs? Not a
No.
soul. A man who I think has already overstayed his welcome in the big city. Beyond what his visa said he could be, was ordered deported. There's a man.
Wait, was this the one that he hired?
Yeah. Well, he didn't hire him. He was already on staff when he took over.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Seems this dude had been hired by the city of New York as an employee of the council. An immigration judge has ordered the deportation of that man that federal officials said in January was an undocumented immigrant with a prior assault arrest. A prior assault arrest and undocumented and working for the city of New York. Should not New York be held accountable for hiring an illegal alien?
I would think so.
They are supposed to be. All employers who hire someone and if they've not made sure it's not an illegal alien, they are supposed to be, they should be. If we would arrest them, the greatest prostitution crackdowns there are? You arrest the Johns.
Right.
The Johns are the one. Hookers, it's the cost of doing business for them to get arrested, pay a little fine, hit the streets. That's the cost of doing business. Seriously. A John who has a legitimate job somewhere, like the employer of an illegal alien,
right?
If you arrest them and you cut off, and everybody else knows that you just arrested this John, and we got this thing going on out there. Don't, buddy, I ain't going out there tonight. They got something going down. They will think twice. They will think twice. How do you arrest Johns, by the way, on the streets? The way I always told them, because guys, because there's one that I knew that got arrested, two that I knew that got arrested, people.
Well, didn't we used to have one right
One
here
was
in
a police.
Jacksonville?
One was a police officer.
Had a bonding company.
Yeah, but the way I said, guys, you stopped at a decent looking woman on the street corner to ask her for favors, right? Yeah, that's what they say. I said, if you find a decent woman working the streets in Wilmington, she is on crack, and they are very visible.
Or she's an undercover police officer.
Or she's undercover.
Right.
If she looks decent, she's an undercover cop.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on go finding an ugly one if that's what you want. All right? Go find one that looks like she's on crack, and you'll be good to go.
Well,
If this whole mess, an immigration judge ordered this guy out of the country now. He's got to go.
good.
City
Why?
Council Speaker Julie Marin, whatever her name is, Menon, announced the deportation ruling, condemning it. She's the City Council Speaker, condemning it as a miscarriage of justice and wholly deplorable. Well, welcome to our world, the home of the deplorables.
Yeah.
And pledging to fight back by filing an appeal. 2 months ago, Rafael Andres Rubio Borges, he was 53, was detained during an immigration appointment and was identified by the Department of Homeland Security as a Venezuelan criminal illegal alien who overstayed his visa. He had a visa. He didn't go home, but he got a job with the city of New York. He thought he was protected. He also had a criminal assault case on him. The mayor says the feds were wrong. The judge was wrong because the man had the right to be in the United States. No, he did not. If your visa expires and you don't take care of it, you go. As cops tell people who argue with them, tell it to the judge. And that's what I'd suggest that the mayor do. Just tell it to the judge and see how what the judge thinks about you, Mr. Mayor.
Right.
Because guess who outranks him? Outranks you. The judge at his chambers outrank you.
Well, New York City, you're on your own.
Well, y'all did it. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That hole is getting deeper for you, and it's just terrible. Remember the chatter
Oh,
about 2 or 3 months back when people in the neighborhoods started seeing uh, what appeared to be federal agents in full gear and in
right.
tactical vehicles picking up people, rounding them up.
Yes.
Nothing was really said about it. Well, it was a drug roundup. And a dozen
Yes.
people, 12 of them, indicted and then
Federal.
arrested on a laundry list of felony drug charges.
Hmm.
The feds don't deal with anything called misdemeanors. They're when you do it when you violate federal laws, you got real serious all of a sudden. Federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies were involved in the investigation that started more than a year ago. A year ago, ATF, DEA, postal inspectors, they are not saying much about this operation yet. Postal inspectors were involved, along with the Onslow Sheriff's Office and the Jacksonville PD. Drugs seized included 1,600 grams of fentanyl, 900 grams of meth, more than 5 pounds total. The cops also seized guns. I don't know whether they were part of what the bad guys are doing, but you can rest assured every one of the guns has got serial numbers that are being run to find out if they're perhaps stolen or where they originally came from. Those arrested, just in case you might know some of these individuals, I couldn't find a lot of information on them in the criminal histories.
I wasn't familiar with anyone.
Robionata, something Monson, Karen Monson, Jose Alberto Leon, Larry Spears, Ashley Smith, Louis Dominiano, Matthew Evans. Thank you, Matthew, for having a name that I can pronounce. Matthew Evans, Zachary Murphy, Marquise Sanders, Odell Bullard Jr., Collins Saki, and Brian Sellers. As one would expect, some of those charged have prior felony convictions for drugs and firearms violations. Not sure if these are going to face federal or state charges when they get down to it. The feds were taking the lead on this. I'm waiting for more information. You're not going to push them because this will be an ongoing investigation.
I remember the day it happened and social media erupted
the
that
days
ICE was here.
The days they saw something happening, they didn't know. It's been happening for over a year.
Right.
So,
the day that they actually came in their vans and their vehicles and they would converge in this area, then move it. People were like, ICE is in Jacksonville.
gotcha.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you're legal, why worry about it?
Yeah. And if you've hired somebody illegal to do work at your place or your business, you might want to be concerned. One of these days, they're going to get wise and do just like vice cops do and go after the Johns and hookers crackdowns.
Oh man,
prostitution crackdowns.
I was on 24 last night in Duplin County. That long stretch after you come off of 903 going into Beulahville there on 24. And, look, there was highway patrol everywhere. I set my speed at 55 and I just cruised on home. And earlier, a highway patrolman had passed me. He was just about 15 minutes later. Here I saw him coming the opposite way. He was booking. He had to be doing 100. And he had the lights inside. Yeah, somebody who just probably wasn't paying attention to their speed. Didn't see that highway patrolman.
They're paying attention. They know what they're doing.
Let me tell you.
Why they know what they're doing? You know how you can tell they know what they're doing? When they pass you or you meet them head on, you look in the rear view mirror, you see bright lights coming on.
Yeah, no, what I meant was that obviously this car passed the highway patrolman without realizing he just passed a highway patrolman. But let me tell you what, he flipped that car around and put that Hemi into drive. I was like, ooh, bad boys.
Well, first thing you got to make sure that the driver of the car that you saw at the time, because you're going to be challenged in court, was this the man?
Why are you making this hard?
Because I'm just going to tell you why they do this, why they take off.
Right.
And also because people will elude them when they don't catch them real fast because they know they've been caught. And this when the guy's running, let's say he's running 60, he slows down to 60 so he doesn't look bad, right? He slows down to 60. To catch a car running 60 miles an hour that's a half mile or more away from you,
Oh, I know.
you gotta get there,
I
hurry.
know.
Otherwise,
I
they
know.
can
Yeah, floor it.
they can destroy any evidence
Look,
that they got.
I'm just saying
drugs,
that this
whatever.
car passed me, obviously speeding,
Uh-huh.
and that highway patrolman flipped that car around, and I
They're good
saw
at it.
him go. But I watched in my rear view mirror. I did see he was able to pull him over, but I
Oh,
was
I'm
like,
sure he
bad
got
boys,
it.
bad boys. What you gonna do? I mean,
What you gonna do?
that
Gonna come
HP,
for
man.
you?
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what else I saw
What's
last
that?
night? I saw people throwing trash out of their windows.
Ooh,
I had
buddy,
just
you
turned on
should-
to I-40, and there was a car in front of me. And as we got onto the interstate, throwing trash right out the window. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people?
You know what we used to do when there was ham radio operators in the cars that all knew Morse code?
Mm-hmm.
There were two things. You would tap out hi in Morse code when you see another ham. Hi, did it,
Mm-hmm.
beep, 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 beep. Today's horns don't allow you to do that.
Right.
And then the other thing they do is they tap out the letter L when they see somebody littering.
Like low
Did I-
life?
Yeah, litter. Did it? And
Right.
it's did it beep, bob, beep, beep.
Well, the thing, it was just crazy because how did they know there wasn't a cop behind them
They
at
don't
the
care.
time?
They really
then
do not care.
This morning, coming up Country Club, there was a heating and air conditioning company van. I will not say the name, throwing out lit cigarettes. And I'm like, what is going on with people?
Chances are pretty good that the company has a policy that they don't allow smoking in their vehicles.
Well, he was smoking while he was driving and then threw it out the window.
Yep. Well, they didn't want to leave the evidence in the ashtray,
Well,
did they?
let me tell you, I'm just like, what is with people? I have a bin in my truck, and
That's
like,
where you put all your cigarette butts.
no, I throw all my trash in the bin as I go
I
along.
got you.
You know, like I stopped and got coffee last night. I stopped and got iced tea.
Oh.
I throw all my empties into that bin and try to keep all my trash together.
I do the same
People
thing.
who throw it out the window, what is wrong with you?
I have a bin too. It's called the back seat. I just put
Yeah, well,
clean it
you
out
finally
sooner or
cleaned it
later.
out. Sad news out of Spain last night.
What's that?
The body of 20-year-old James Jimmy Gracie, who was a student at the University of Alabama. He was in Barcelona on a spring break trip. They found his body yesterday. He went
boy.
missing
Yeah,
after he was
they-
last seen outside a nightclub
ended
with his
up in the
friends.
water.
Yeah, so they don't have the cause of death yet, but he was a college student at University of Alabama. Was last seen outside the Shaco nightclub in Barcelona, but separated from his friends around 3 a.m. on Tuesday. He never returned to the room he was renting with his friends, and his family, who say they hear from him constantly every day, they realized something was wrong when police contacted them saying that there was word that he was missing. Well, the family actually contacted them first because they said something's going on. But his family realized something was wrong when police contacted them saying they had recovered his phone. And I understand his wallet was also found out there on the shoreline. So very sad. He's well spoken of from his fellow students. He was a member of the Theta Chi fraternity at the school and the international organization said that he held two positions within the school's chapter, one of them being a chaplain.
Yeah. Hate to see it. Hate to hear
Beautiful
it. But,
young man.
You know, and the spring break time and everything else. There are just so many deaths that occurred during this time.
Yes. Natalie
Natalie Holloway down in Aruba. We had and this one there were 3 or 4 people shot, including a police officer during spring break down in Florida. I forgot where
Yes.
but
It was Daytona, wasn't it?
probably. You know, that's the spring break capital these days. Yeah, it used to be Fort Lauderdale, Miami,
in the
Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
world?
It's okay. We got the 60th anniversary of my graduating class coming up.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got our. There's not nearly as many of us as there were who graduated.
That's
So, and there's going
that's
to be a very small group
right.
in attendance, apparently.
And just a reminder, tomorrow is a special spring open house and garden tour at the Pelletier House,
Yes.
hosted by the Onslow County Cooperative
Starts at
Extension
10
Master
o'clock.
Gardeners and Onslow County Museum in conjunction with Semper Fidelis. Onslow County celebrates America 250, and this will be tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., according to the brochure. Historic Pelletier House in Wantland Spring, Old Bridge Street. Wantland Spring is on Old Bridge Street, and it's free admission. You're going to get a lesson in history.
Mm-hmm.
Onslow County, we talked about that yesterday, so that's something that's going on tomorrow.
Yeah. It's that house. If you're downtown, it's right at the foot of Old Bridge Street as you're leaving town, the downtown area.
Right.
It's on the right as you're leaving downtown on Old Bridge Street. And,
Right.
They call it Old Bridge because it used to be the old bridge. Now it is the newer bridge, but it's still the old bridge.
Then tomorrow,
Are you confused?
yeah, I'm
Give me a minute. I'll help you.
Tomorrow, 2 p.m. at the Lejeune Memorial Gardens,
Mm-hmm.
there is a special event that's being led by the Onslow Vietnam Veterans Memorial Foundation and the Marine Corps League. Cindy Balcom, who is a member of Rolling Thunder Chapter 1 out of North Carolina in Fayetteville, but does a lot with a lot of our local veterans, will be placing a plaque onto the Vietnam Veterans Wall for her father.
That's cool.
He's actually not one of the 38 that is listed as missing from North Carolina. He's actually from Missouri. But an inscription was placed on the wall at one time, and she found out. And so now she's bought a plaque from the Vietnam Veterans Association, and that's going to be put onto the wall tomorrow. So, if anybody's interested in attending that, just real quick, he was promoted to sergeant first class. Robert Allen Ansbach entered the U.S. Army and was a member of Detachment A401, Company D, 5th Special Forces. On September 11, 1967, SFC Ansbach departed his camp near Hong Nu as part of an airboat reconnaissance operation. The airboat was traveling down the Mekong River when SFC Ansbach was hit by small arms fire and killed. The other men aboard secured the airboat in the vicinity and were picked up by another boat, but his body was last seen aboard the team's original airboat, and his remains were never recovered. He was promoted to the rank of Master Sergeant after his death. Right. And he's memorialized on the Courts of the Missing at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. And his name is also inscribed with all his fallen comrades on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. So it's going to be a small little ceremony. And if you get a chance, go out. Get out. I mean, and not only was he killed in action, his body was never recovered.
How would you like to walk into a restaurant and they say, you know what, you're not dressed appropriately, so you can go to the bar?
What?
But you can't eat out here in this restaurant.
Well,
they don't like the way you're dressed. If you're wearing a ball cap, can't do it.
Okay.
Business casual dress code requiring proper attire is what the folks who want to dine at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse are required to do. Diners who say, "Nah, I'm not dressed appropriately," apparently they're getting bounced to the bar.
Why not just out the door if there's a dress code?
Because they
policy?
still want your money. Come on.
Oh
I mean, they don't care if you're how bad you're dressed. They just put you. They're going to segregate you. On their website, it says kindly remove all hats when entering the restaurant. Guests wearing ball caps are asked to dine in the bar/lounge.
Well, shouldn't you remove your ball cap if you're going inside? Isn't that adequate?
Yeah, but there are people who just wear their ball caps everywhere.
Right.
Gym wear is not permitted in the dining room. Pool attire, tank tops, clothing with offensive graphics or language, revealing clothing, or exposed undergarments, unless you've got the right equipment, are not allowed.
Well, where is this restaurant?
All Ruth Chris restaurants.
Oh, what?
All Ruth Chris restaurants.
Oh, well, we don't have any here. So
No, we don't.
we're
We
good.
got one in Wilmington. I assume it's still there. Have you ever eaten at one?
No.
They got some fine steaks. They used to. They
Really?
had, back in the day, they had some fine. You better have triple digits when you go to eat there. While recent reports have framed the move as a crackdown, the policy has appeared on the restaurant's website for many years. According to Internet Archives, this suggests the current debate may be driven more by recent enforcement and viral social media discussion than a new rule. It's nothing new. They're just now enforcing it. It's kind of like their immigration laws. We're now
Right.
enforcing it. Get over it.
Let me tell you what, if Walmart ever instituted a dress code, they'd go out of business.
One person, and I have to disagree with one person who posted as a response that Ruth's Chris isn't fine dining. It's like one step up from Outback. No.
I cannot even get into that. I've never eaten there.
Yeah.
Never heard of
I've
it.
eaten one. It's great. They've got some fine stuff, and they put on a pretty good show to give you the fine dining
Right.
atmosphere. It's the food.
Tom says it's an expensive steakhouse.
It is expensive, and I don't disagree that they got some fine steaks. I've had some really fine steaks at other places.
Now I'm hungry.
I think I've got to make an appointment to go to the Burro.
I have a steak in the refrigerator.
I haven't had one Burro steak lately. Randy,
I put
I'm
one out
coming your
yesterday
way. I'm coming your way, Randy.
to cook last night, but then I thought, no, I better not. I'm traveling, so I have it for tonight.
Well, good.
Oh, a sweet potato too. I have.
Sweet taters. Sweet taters, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something I just came across this story. How do you feel about this? An Ohio-based company that initially balked at granting a mom's request to work from home during a high-risk pregnancy has been found liable for the newborn's death and ordered on Wednesday to pay $22.5 million in damages. Chelsea Walsh,
What was the cause of death?
according to her lawsuit, made the work from home request with Total Quality Logistics on February 15, 2021, 4 days after undergoing an operation on her cervix to prevent her from going into early labor. Instead, the lawsuit states TQL presented Walsh with an impossible choice: work at the office or put additional strain on her child, or take unpaid leave of absence and lose the income. So she returned to work. She gave birth to a daughter she named Magnolia. And the same day, her manager that she gave birth told her the company had reconsidered its decision to deny her request accommodation and allowed her to go home and continue working.
That's the day she gave birth?
Yes.
Did she give an early birth?
No, not that I know of, but it said Magnolia had a heartbeat and was breathing and exhibited fetal movement. Magnolia was placed on Walsh's chest. Walsh could hold her. Magnolia died in the mother's arms approximately 1 hour, 30 minutes later.
Any idea what the cause of death was?
She was between 4 and 5 months pregnant when she gave birth, so she was early. And the jury in the wrongful death case ruled in her favor because her employer would not let her work from home, and she had a high-risk pregnancy.
Here's the worst thing for the employer as far as the law is concerned. The way I would look at it if I was a member of the jury,
Right.
they waited until the last minute and said, it's okay for you to work from home. So they admitted that it should have been done in the first place. That was I'm sure their lawyers right now are saying that was about the stupidest thing
This
you've
is
ever.
that TQL's denial of that reasonable request
Mhm.
led to the death of her daughter. So they're saying because she had a high risk pregnancy and she was forced to go into work,
Yeah.
that led to the early labor, to the child being born and dying.
Well, if unless she was doing things like assembling parts in a factory or something like that, where you got
Right.
to be there,
Right.
maybe they should have made some sort of accommodations.
Wow.
At least if it was a big enough company to do that, they should have done it.
You know, I can see both sides of it though. I mean, it was your choice to get pregnant, right?
Well, yeah, maybe could be
Yeah, and
or not.
and you're having complications. So, do you take the risk of going to work or do you quit that job? But then again, that may be her only income. So, I don't know.
Doesn't say anything about a daddy, does it?
Doesn't say a word about a daddy.
Chicago City Council. Guess what? There's been a request put before the Chicago City Council to raise some more money, and they're doing it. Increase the tourist tax to 20%.
What?
Currently, 17.5%.
Oh.
Almost 20 cents. They're going to 20%. They're going to go to almost 20% of your bill is going to be a tax. Now, that's not just you may or may not see it on your bill. Your rates are just going to be higher. But the
cable company does to you?
Well, pretty much everybody does it to you if they can get away with it. This is a combined city, county, and state tax. But it's a tourist tax. Okay.
A tourist tax.
A tourist tax for the city of Chicago.
Well, I'm not going to Chicago for any reason.
Well, me either. I'll drive in, sleep in my car if necessary, and then I get a parking ticket. Tourist tax, like we have here in Oslo County, they have it like at the motels and the houses that are rented and stuff like that. It goes for certain purposes. It's strictly regulated as to what it goes for. And it's for, like promoting tourism,
right?
For the most part,
right?
There's some various ways they can do that, promote tourism using that money. But it's not just for funding, the city's other stuff. It doesn't go into the general fund for other things. Chicago, I'd be suspicious. I think they just want to get the money for themselves, increase the taxes. Yeah,
I don't think I'd ever want to go to Chicago anyway. Their crime rate is so bad.
I would have problems. I don't have that much ammo.
Yeah, I mean, every weekend it's in double digits, people shot.
Yeah.
Ooh, what is this? Quintal's founder sells prime land near Topsail Beach to Boston developer for $31 billion. What? Wow.
Yeah, does it come with
Pender County?
Does it come with sandbags?
31 million.
Does it come with sandbags?
It says hundreds of acres outside Topsail Beach is now owned by a company billing itself as one of the nation's most vibrant and forward-looking developers. Here we go. Condominiums.
Of course.
Of course, it won't let me into the story because you have to buy a subscription. But
there's
to check
Cuba
that one out.
Cuba has even more problems now.
Right.
Blackouts all over the island.
Yeah, I thought they said last night
power. They keep losing power in different places,
and
their economy is in the toilet. Are they ripe for takeover now? They want to become the next possession of the United States?
I don't know. But what's going on in Cuba? Because they've had these rolling blackouts. And
I think it would be ideal for the United States to own that island. Why? Because of its location. It's a defensive island. It can be great. We have a base there already. We have a deal to stay there until 2059. We have a 100-year lease on the property that is known as Guantanamo Bay.
What are we doing with that?
Oh, what are we doing with it? It's a naval base there, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. We absolutely, of course, we got a Marine detachment there all the time, but it's a beautiful place to be. I've been there several times. The water is beautiful, and it's a great strategic location for the United States. Early advance warnings. We have ships in and out of the port there all the time. They can't, we've got a lease. I don't know what the current government is doing, but the lease used to be $39,000 a year. $39,000 a year. That's what the deal that we struck with Cuba back in the 50s was.
Wow.
We paid them for the first couple of years after Castro took over.
Right.
And then after that, they refused to cash the checks because Castro said, we got that land and we should not be there. They want us off. So we're not going to cash your checks. So for the longest time, I don't know whether they're doing it now or not, but for the longest time, they didn't even take our money. And we just, they had checks that they didn't cash. Checks expired after 30 days or 60 days or 90 days?
Well, usually I think 90 days, but,
I think automatically it can be 90 days. So I don't know about from the government. Will the government check expire in 90 days? Probably when the change of administration. 67 years of authoritarian rule where the Communist Party of Cuba is the only legal party, the only party they've got. They got a one-party system, communists. Last week, protesters attacked a Communist Party headquarters on the island, ransacking the building and attempting to set it on fire. So the people in Cuba are not happy with the commies that are in charge when they don't know what's going. Well, of course, Venezuela supplied Venezuela supplied Cuba with pretty much everything. It was because Venezuela needed Cuba. They wanted Cuba.
Yes.
And Cuba had to have Venezuela. Where do you think he got his oil? They're not going to get it now. Their generators are probably running low. So I don't know who they're going to make a deal with to get oil from. It would have to be us. And I've seen this on a lot of island nations. You know what the biggest game for people are there? The board game? It's not really a board game. They play dominoes.
Oh, dominoes.
Dominoes. Have you ever played dominoes?
Yeah, I wasn't much into games like that.
I would not either, but I got into it aboard a boat, and we played quite a bit because that's about the only thing to do. It was, but at the airports, you pull up at an airport, and when you leave it, right outside the door there are locals out there. They got dominoes.
That's pretty cool.
Playing dominoes, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I have when I go like down diving, and all the bags I carry, I've got zip ties on them, right?
Right.
Obviously, I don't want them cutting my lock when they scan it, and zip ties keeps the zippers from coming undone. It also keeps
easy to replace.
Yeah. How do I get into those zip ties when I get to the island? When I get my luggage and get off the airplane, there's stuff in there I kind of want that you're not supposed to get, like my pocket knife and things like that I want to do other stuff with. I don't have any way to.
There's a way you can do it.
How's that?
You take the tip of the zip tie and you bend it down to where it goes through the connector.
There is no tip.
And
it's cut off flush. I cut the tabs flush.
Well, Rayford, why?
Because I don't want anybody to get into it. If somebody could get into it like that,
they still can get it. They could cut it.
They could cut it if they can get into the airport with a knife.
Well.
So you know what I've done several times?
What's that?
Stop at the domino table. Hey man, anybody here got a pocket knife? I need to cut this thing on my baggage, and everybody there has got a pocket knife, and they're just friendly. They loan me their knife long enough for me to pop that little leg. I think it's cool.
Go to the restaurant and get a plastic knife.
There's no restaurant at the airport that I can go to.
Get a plastic knife.
And I'm not going to cut anything with
Do
a plastic
they have
knife.
plastic knives at the airport restaurants?
Probably not. I don't know.
Because once you get through that point and you can go in and you're waiting for your flight, they have restaurants there for the people that have already checked through TSA. That's a thought. Do
I
they
don't
have knives?
I don't know.
Because you've already been searched.
Well, nobody picks up the stuff from your tables where I eat at a restaurant like in Atlanta. That's usually where we eat breakfast.
Right.
But you just get your food and everything, go to the table, and you take it and throw it in the trash.
Right.
So I don't think they would have any real knives. I don't
No, I don't
recall.
mean, but some of those plastic knives can cut you.
Yeah.
Well, what's to stop somebody from pocketing one of those plastic knives and getting on a plane?
You do realize that you empty your pockets if they want you to, because it's not just metal they're looking for.
You've already been through it.
Yeah.
You've already been through TSA.
Uh-huh.
So you're there and you say, oh, while I'm waiting for my flight, there's a McDonald's. Let me go over there and get some pancakes. You get a plastic knife with pancakes
No.
most of the time. Do they give you one?
Well, you get a plastic knife on the plane, too. They're about as flimsy as anything else you've ever seen in your life.
How about the McDonald's ones?
Well, they don't have a McDonald's on the airplane.
No, but you could put that plastic knife in your pocket.
Well, you're just giving people ideas now. Quit doing that.
Have you seen the newest YouTube that's out by independent journalist Nick Shirley?
Nah.
That he did
I heard
on
about it. He's catching a lot of grief.
Fraud in LA. I watched it.
There's no fraud in LA.
Look, he uncovered millions of dollars worth. But the new thing the thing in LA is you go rent yourself some office space, like an old hotel that is no longer a hotel, but they all are rented out as office space.
Yeah.
Guardian Angels Hospice, Sky High Hospice, we'll take you hospice, whatever. All these hospice offices that are getting all this money from the government to do what they do, and the offices are empty.
Yeah.
Or one or two Somalians, once again, will be there. But I watched him, and he went to so many. It's a 42-minute video of him investigating.
If I was in a city, especially big cities like that, if I was in the city anywhere in charge, or partially in charge, or whatever, I would go take a look at any businesses, every businesses that has a license to operate in my city, period. And I would look at them. I would do the investigation myself up front, knowing what was likely going to be coming to visit me at some point in time, and to point out the fraud that's going on. I would eliminate that fraud in advance.
The parking lots to these different places that he went to, and he pointed out, and every single parking lot had Mercedes,
of course,
or Lexuses, or Range Rovers, all these big expensive cars in the parking lot.
A lot of government money to buy them.
That's right. And Newsom got really ticked and put
defensive.
He got very defensive, and he put a GIF on X of a picture of a guy with all these radios and headphones and stuff like that going into a building and asking the person, where are your kids? He was doing that to make fun of Nick Shirley. And Nick Shirley came back out and said, you do realize, and he said this straight to Newsom, you do realize I'm trying to help America eliminate fraud and waste, right? No need to try and make me look like the bad guy for exposing fraud. People are over it. Start working for the people and not against them.
Don't kill the messenger.
But he uncovered millions.
Good for him.
Yes.
I think the federal government should hire him.
Yeah, let him be the new Doge. And over $170 million he uncovered in fraud.
Give him 10% of what he finds, what he can recover. The marine forecast brought to you by none other than the fish in the big, deep blue sea. For the weekend, today, offshore out to 20 nautical miles. Northeasterly winds, kind of light, 5 to 10, becoming easterly this afternoon. Seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. A good day to go. Tomorrow, a less good day, but still okay. Southwesterly winds 15 to 20, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 4 to 6 footers, 2 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Sunday, winds from the south
Sunday.
5 to 10, light. Becoming southwesterly, 10 to 15, moderate in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
Today, sunny with a high near 71. Tonight, a slight chance of showers after 2 a.m. with a low around 50. Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 80. Sunday, sunny with a high near 84. Gorgeous weather for the weekend, and the nighttime lows are in the 50s. So, no heat, no air.
Where's everybody? Nobody's. Hold on.
Are the phones working?
Hold on just a second. There's one
There's
blank
one.
phone.
Right.
There's 2 blank phones.
Yeah.
Ringy dingy. Nobody's a ringy dingy. What's wrong with them? Oh, I know. Only the people who voted have computers that listen to us. The rest of the people are not there.
Well, that's not many people then.
They're missing 11%, 14,000 people out of
I'm gonna tell
129,000
you
registered
what.
voters here in Onslow County. 14,000 of you voted, of us voted. Thank you.
I told
14,000. We could have a small party, and we should have a party and make the rest of
I
them pay
was
for it.
speaking to Sampson County Republican Party last night,
Mhm.
and I congratulated them. 25.83% turnout. They were the second highest in the 3rd
Wow.
district. To have people turn out.
But that's
And I was like, kudos.
it's awful to be able to congratulate somebody like that. It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
when I was fishing in the Spanish mackerel tournament up there in Morehead
Right,
City a few years
right.
back, and it was not real good conditions. I
Right.
caught Spanish, no problem, but they also have a king mackerel division, and I caught a king, a legal king. I won first place with it.
Nice.
It was the only king caught. It weighed 7 pounds.
I was just going to ask how big was
A
it?
7-pound king mackerel with
Won.
first place.
Wow.
You've got to be kidding. I mean,
Wow.
should have released the king. Was going to release the king, but he was pretty well worn out when I got him in, so that would have been a waste.
Mm.
So anyway, he was legal. I caught him. They weighed him. I won.
Well, congratulations on your win.
That, well, yeah, whatever's.
Did you see we had an F-35 having to make an emergency landing yesterday after it was struck on the wing?
By what?
They're saying that they're pretty positive it was by a Iranian missile.
Oh, it was over there. No,
Yes,
I'm thinking
yes.
somewhere
Oh, I'm sorry.
around
I
here
know.
somewhere.
Well, getting back to Iran, yes,
I ran all over Iran.
a U.S. F-35 fighter jet was forced to make an emergency landing after flying a combat mission over Iran, according to the U.S. Central Command. The pilot, who was able to guide the aircraft to a U.S. base in the region, is in stable condition. My goodness. CNN first reported the incident with sources telling the outlet the aircraft was struck by Iranian munition. So it's still under
So
investigation.
they fired at him, but they clipped the wing.
Yes,
Is that what it was?
yes.
Hey, so he didn't have to bail, right?
No, he landed it.
Okay,
He
good. Landed it so
landed
they
it,
can
so-
repair it. That'll be good.
Yes, yes. And right here is saying a total of 13 U.S. service members have been killed during combat
what I
actions
thought.
against Iran, and roughly 200 wounded. Wow.
And a lot of that stuff is where these guys are in bases, and there might be in other countries. And Iran's been just shooting missiles indiscriminately, and those directions, and they're getting people, they're hitting people, and that's what I don't understand about the Middle East region. Iran is a rogue nation. For you guys who live in the Middle East and operate those countries, it's a rogue nation. They're not they're in control by nuts. And they have a goal, and they've told you what the goal is we want to kill all Americans and all Israelis. That is their goal.
Oh, my
Now,
goodness.
the problem is we got some of these other countries that just say, well, you know what, so you can go kill a bunch of Jews and a bunch of Americans. I don't care. They're coming for you next, buddy.
Do you know?
The Russia started the same way. I'm not Russia. Germany started the same way in World War II. They
Yeah,
started
dogs
marching
are-
through,
Mhm.
and they literally Germany. There, I saw the greatest map progression of the German Empire
Right.
leading up to our invasion, our intervention. But from was it 37, 38, something like that. And there's a map, big map. They fought. They grabbed this
Mhm.
country. They took over this country. They took over that country. You know who the strongest country out there right now is?
Who?
Who's involved in potentially could be involved in all of this, and we really ought to be friends with? Poland. Poland does not want to be walked over again. Poland lived that whole situation. They lived through it. They know what was done. Murders in the streets, hangings, machine gunning people, lots of them at a time, line them up. You're a Jew, you die.
Right. Right. I don't know.
And it's
Just
coming to a
this
town
weekend
near
is-
you if you live in that neck of the woods,
Mhm.
unless somebody gets control. We have not sat on our butts on this one. We did before World War II, when World War II started. It did not start in 1941. It did. We got involved in 1941. We had been building up to it for years. We were making plans.
Right.
We just weren't making serious plans. We did not alert the troops. Poor folks out there in Hawaii, they had not a clue what was coming. They had this brand new thing called a radar. They had it up on a hill. And the radar operators on that fantastic Sunday morning, they were watching this stuff, the planes
Right.
coming from these aircraft carriers.
Yes.
You know how many planes there were in that thing? Lots and lots and lots. And they saw them on radar. They sent word by runner down to headquarters on a Sunday morning. You know, it was before 8 o'clock on a beautiful Sunday morning. And guess what? No, it must be something wrong with your machine. There's nothing happening. We would have heard about it from someone else. Nobody.
Well,
They did
another
not get
news.
prepared. They should have put some planes up in the air, and might have been a completely different story.
In other news, the military, the commissaries are making changes. Starting April 6th, customers will pay 5 cents for each plastic bag and 10 cents for each paper bag
Really?
that they use for their groceries. The move will save the commissary system money, officials stated. Now, it will allow the Defense Commissary Agency to continue to offer its eligible patrons significant savings while strengthening its fiscal stewardship and reducing operating expenses.
Did you bring your own bag?
Yes, providing the single-use bag costs the commissary $17 million a year.
And how much they going to charge for a single-use bag?
Oh, commissary agency receives about $1.5 billion per year in taxpayer dollars to operate these discounted grocery stores as a benefit for the military community. They're encouraging customers to bring their own reusable bags or purchase them from the commissary. The stores sell a variety of reusable bags, including hot, cold, special bags at different prices, with one basic option listed at 44 cents. Now, this is not going to apply to commissaries in Guam, Hawaii, California, and Washington, but everywhere else. Wow.
You know, it's
That's a lot of money.
when you travel down to the islands in the Caribbean, there any
Right.
number of the supermarkets there and the stores there, they don't give you bags. You bring your own. If you could get a box, maybe if they got any boxes over there, but
Mhm.
you get a shopping cart, you better bring your own bag, because the shopping carts they won't, in some cases, they can't get out of the store.
I have like these boxes that fold up flat,
Uh-huh.
but you unfold them and they have straps on them. And I just put them in my cart when I remember to take them, put them in my cart. And as I shop, I put the
Fill 'em
stuff
up,
in
yep.
each bag, in each box. And then when I get to the counter to check out, I empty one box, put all the stuff back in it. And it's so easy to carry. You can carry a lot more. You don't have to worry about the bags
I've got a
breaking.
suggestion for Sam's,
Oh,
because
yes?
you know I shop there.
Yes.
I got
Well,
a
I
great-
take my
I
boxes
got
in
a
there.
session
Yeah.
for Sam's. They have boxes after you go through the checkout. Why not do that as you walk into the store with your cart? Why
Right.
not have this box bin of used cardboard boxes there. You can pick it up, put them in your cart, and then fill them up as you go
I
along.
think that's an excellent suggestion.
Wouldn't that be a great thing?
That would be great.
The second suggestion I have for them.
Right.
But they're not the only ones who violate this thing as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
All of those parking spaces outside.
Oh, here we go. Because you always have.
For the handicap, yes, leave them there, close. For all of the people who do their shopping online and go by and pick up your groceries, you park. Why is there a need for you to park up close to the store?
Because it's a perk. It's
To
a
whom?
perk
To whom?
for the online shopper.
No. They don't get out of the car.
But
somebody brings the cart out to you.
now you're asking the worker in
Yes,
Sam's
they're being paid
to
for
walk way down there.
it. Yeah, they're being paid for it.
But they don't have as many.
And they're younger and they need the exercise.
Go to Arby's in where was it? Wallace, wherever the other night. And two people working in the entire restaurant.
What's that got to do with Sam's?
Well, because it goes to show you they don't have the workers that they used to
They
have.
have the workers because they don't have them at the cash register.
No, they have that robot that follows you all around the store.
Yeah, we just want
That
to make
thing
sure you're
freaks
clean.
me out. Which brings to mind, listen, next time when you go to buy the little 2-ounce cups that we have to have for the John
4
Slow
ounce,
Eats,
yes.
4 ounce, I need you to pick up some for me and I will pay you. Because we have a special entry this year, an entrant
Into what?
into the John Slow Eats contest on May 2nd.
For what?
It used to be called Men Who Cook, but now it's John Slow Eats. And
What do you want to do this for? What are you going to put in them?
It's not for me. It's for another entrant. It's for somebody else who's entering, but will be coming from out of town from wherever.
He's going to be competing with us?
He's going to be competing with us. Yes.
Against us?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'd say let smack talk begin. Who are we talking about?
We're talking about the guy. He's the insurance commissioner.
Of North Carolina.
The insurance commissioner
The
of
man.
North Carolina. He thinks
The smack
he
talk has
can
already
cook
begun.
something better
Mm-hmm.
and do it better than we do.
I believe he said, let me look at what
Show me
he
your
said.
credentials.
Oh my
Michael,
gosh.
put your mouth.
Here we go.
Show me, buddy.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, let me see what he said. I think he said,
He said, watch out.
all right,
Second place is not bad, Michael. It's okay. You can do that.
he was in Calabash yesterday.
He's
he
buying
said-
shrimp is what he's doing already. cooked.
No, listen. He's going to be in Florida the few days before and driving back to Jacksonville just expressly for this contest.
He thinks he's going to win.
So it is on, and we can expect everybody listening for a lot of trash talk between now
absolutely.
and May 2nd. But I need to, unless I renew my membership, if you could, we'll talk about it, but I need some cups for him.
I don't
so.
usually get them there.
Oh, okay.
I've got another source for them.
Is it up the street on New Bern Highway at that place there?
It's been there, yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. We'll talk about it. But I told him I'd pick him up some, So
Uh-huh.
I think he's trying to steal me away from you.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I told him, well,
I think a
anyway.
lot of that's going around these days. It's okay.
No, I'm committed to our team.
I know you are.
But yeah, I think there's going to be a great deal of trash talking.
We got you, Michael. I'll help you out, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Out the door with second
Mhm.
place.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a lot of trash talking on this one. But I look forward to it. It's going to be fun.
It's in May. So you
So,
guys,
May
if you
2nd.
y'all think you can cook, guys is male or female or otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is. But anyway, if you think you can cook, put your mouth where your money is.
There's supposed to
Put your
be
money where your mouth is. Get on the job.
some big
Do it.
thing. I'll have to call Luke Farley. He's our commissioner of labor commissioner for North Carolina.
Mhm.
He says something about there was a big thing. I think it's in New Bern soon, where all the Council of State is going to be converging for a public thing. I need to go to that. Oh man.
You're bringing a bunch of politicians to Eastern North
They're
Carolina.
not politicians, they're elected officials.
Same thing. They work for politicians.
Hey, did you hear about that TikTok mom that was found dead after plastic surgery caused horrific brain damage?
What did they put? A plastic brain in her head?
I don't know.
Jesus.
She began massively popular through her videos documenting the ups and downs of motherhood, and went to have plastic surgery done, and it caused an issue with her brain.
Mm-hmm.
Killed her. Wow.
Colorado cop
Ooh.
got a serious head injury during a violent fight with a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
But the drug dealer was released on a $100 bond, despite prosecutors pushing for a much higher amount. It happened Tuesday evening in downtown Boulder, where officers were responding to ongoing complaints about open drug use and overdoses in a public park. The cops were speaking with a woman seen smoking suspected meth when she pointed them to a man nearby who she said had sold her the drugs. So the cops went to see him. Identified as Kai Brown, no kin to me, he attempted to get away. One of the police officers gave chase, and during the struggle, both the officer and this guy, the druggie, fell into Boulder Creek. Police said the druggie landed on top of the officer and then struck his head on a rock. Grabbed him by the head and hit him. And he's, despite suffering a serious concussion, along with cuts and bruises, the officer was able to help take Brown into custody before collapsing. He was taken to a hospital, since been released and recovering at home. Serious injuries. And he walks out, and a drug dealer, a known drug dealer, and he hurts a cop in a fight after he runs from him and gets chased down. They caught him with multiple individually packaged baggies of methamphetamine. You know, if they pack it individually like that, it's not for your own personal use.
Right.
It's for
No,
sale.
it's obvious dealing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And $100 bond, and he walks.
I don't understand.
Do you think he's going to show up for court?
No, he's not going to show up for court.
There's a 25% chance he will.
There's going to be another warrant out for failure to appear.
And then they got to go locate him.
Yes.
They got to chase him down. And then they will put him under another $100 bond.
Right.
For failure to appear.
Right.
You wait and see. That's the way it works.
I don't get it. I just don't.
And they won't take the other bond away from him if he fails to appeal. They won't keep the money. They give it back to him. They still give it back to him. Not supposed to, but they do in a lot of these liberal locations. I know. No.
Well, gosh. Hey, look, I know you don't
VA
watch.
wanted $20,000 secured bond on him.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they pushed for.
$20,000?
$20,000, not $100.
$100. What kind of nonsense is that? $100. I just don't get it. I mean, there ought to be a law against that.
It was actually $1,000, but he paid 10% to get a bondsman to get him out.
$1,000.
So came out $100. It walks. What in the world? What in the world?
I don't know. I know you don't watch reality shows, but anybody who's getting ready for the Bachelorette to come on, guess what? It just got strapped. It just got scrapped 3 days before it was set to premiere. We want to ask me why it got scrapped.
Why did it get scrapped or strapped?
Because Taylor Frankie Paul, who is the Bachelorette this year, well, good old TMZ has just released a video of her in a domestic abuse situation with her ex. It was a 2023 domestic violence incident. And TMZ, because you know they're the garbage magazine, they released the video. And so as a result, ABC has had to pull The Bachelorette this season.
Oh.
3 days before I never watch it. I just think they're all dumb. They're all dumb. But she used to be on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So
what? I don't know.
She's going to be welcome to Walmart after all this.
I don't know. Our outgoing senator here, one of our senators, one of the two in North Carolina, he's released a statement dealing with this Save America Act.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's he got to say?
I'm one of the few members of Congress who has actually passed a voter ID law on a bipartisan basis, which I did as Speaker of the House in North Carolina. And that's why I proudly co-sponsored the SAVE Act. While I support strengthening mail-in ballot integrity, many states like Utah, Florida, Alaska, and Montana rely on the use of mail-in ballots to conduct their elections, and we should not be completely upending how states already securely conduct their elections. Even if this issue is fixed, the Save America Act still will not have the 60 votes required to pass it. While the so-called talking filibuster, he says, has been floated as an option, there is a reason previous attempts to utilize it in recent history have failed. A talking filibuster would effectively make Chuck Schumer the new Senate Majority Leader, allowing Democrats to block every single Trump judge and executive branch nominee and allow them to force endless votes on anything they want. Democrats would control the floor of the U.S. Senate until the end of the year.
Charlie.
Okay, let me get the right stuff. Charlie, where have you been? I've been waiting for you all morning.
Hey, yeah, I have two quick things. I got a kick. You talk about TMZ. I don't know if you guys remember when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, not killed.
Yes.
Everybody in the TMZ in the back room, they all applauded and they laughed.
Yes.
And they're very happy.
Yes, they're garbage. My opinion.
They're entitled to do whatever they want to do. Kind of Harvey Levin and his sidekick Charlie are like, "Well, we didn't do that." No, you actually did do that. It's fine, because if it was like President Obama or Hillary Clinton and the same thing happened, they would be off the air. But I have a question for you guys. How did you guys meet, and how did you come up with this concept? Where did you guys come up with this program?
Well, it started in 1948 when I was born. And then by 1951, we moved from where I was born to Jacksonville, North Carolina. And from that point in time, I became interested in tearing stuff apart and then not being able to put it back together, until I progressed to the point that when I tore it apart, I can mostly put it back together. But sometimes I tore my own body apart and myself apart, and I never was able to reassemble it. So I made a decision that would be a perfect talk show host, somebody who is totally disjointed. How does that sound?
I mean, do you guys remember when you first met? Like, was that a restaurant? Did friends introduce you, your spouses?
I was bailing some people out of jail, and she was one of them.
That's not true. Not true.
No, I don't know where we met. You were...
Actually, I think it was when I was chairman of the party here.
I'm sure of that.
And y'all had me come in to discuss something, but I kind of knew you already anyway, because I grew up here.
Yeah.
You're from here. Yep. And he used to be a news producer. Was that your title? What was your title?
I was a news director.
News director. See, Charlie. So he's got that background.
I thought you were a police officer.
I was.
He was that too.
I'm old. I've been a lot of things.
I've got a lot in mind.
Were you a news? I want her to finish. I don't want to interrupt. Were you a news director and a police officer at the same time?
At one time, I was an auxiliary officer while I was a news director, and not many people knew it at the time. But I was still a sworn officer, and I would work on weekends, at nights, and things like that. And I did undercover campaigns and stuff.
So you guys just met, and then you just casually became friends and just said, "Hey, let's do a radio program or a podcast."
No, he was already doing it.
I've been doing this since 2011.
Yes,
November 1st.
You've been on the air since 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, since November the 1st of 2011.
That's amazing.
Right.
Wow, I didn't realize that's a long time. Wow.
No, I was already old then. So that means I'm older now. Really old. Almost 80.
I missed some of your past co-hosts.
Kelly, she's doing fine. Staying extremely busy, yes. And Chris right now, he'll be back soon. He's got so many irons in the fire. We said, go do what you need to do.
Yeah, he's got a few things. Right. We're casual here. We can,
very casual.
We can go in and go out. If if I want to go fishing today, I'll go fishing. You know, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Do you go out on a boat, or do you go on a boat, or do you stand on the shoreline?
He has
No,
a boat.
I have 2 boats.
Right.
2 women. You have 2 boats?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. I mean, most people don't have 1 boat. You're basically saying, I got to take this. That's okay. Yeah, I'll ask about that another day because I think you guys are about to wrap it up, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, in a few minutes. I have 2 boats. One of them is a 30-foot boat, and I can take it offshore, go out in the ocean, way out in the ocean. I can stay there. I can go where I want to go under most conditions. The other one is what they call a flat bottom or river boat or, backwater boat.
Yay.
And I use that for getting up into the creeks and
Gigging.
wherever I want to go and catch some clams.
You ever take your ocean boat out? You ever take your ocean boat? I said a boat. You ever take your ocean boat out and spend the night, overnight in the water?
I have, but not intentionally. I got out there and the fish. Well, it started. The fish were biting and they didn't stop, so we didn't come in.
I don't blame you.
That's just the way it is.
That's right.
When the fish are biting and we were fishing, I just said, "Well, anybody want to go?" And no, we stayed. It was early morning hours, wee morning hours when we got back.
I can understand that.
But would you sleep on your boat in the middle of the ocean at night and like have a nice sleep?
Yeah, I've done that, but not on this boat. I've slept on this boat when I was going over the ocean, coming back from Morehead City, which is about a 50-mile trip, 40-mile trip from inlet to inlet. And I was offshore and on my way back, and I was just drifting off to dozing. I hit autopilot, nothing out there, just me, and it brought me home.
You slept while the boat was on autopilot?
I think I'd be too paranoid, like sleep on a boat and like not knowing what would happen, like waves or like dolphins like jump into my bed.
Some erratic boater coming the wrong way. No.
The whole thing would be. I would be.
When you get out there in the ocean, sometimes, Charlie, and here's just what people ask me, where do you go? I said, I generally go in the ocean to a point where I can't see land and there is nobody else out there. When I can't see other boaters and I can't see land, I feel good. I am seldom further, now this is the riddle, I am seldom further than 150 feet from land, but I can't see it.
I don't know. Hold on, wait. You're seldomly less than 100 feet from land.
I'm seldom further than 150 feet from land. But I am out of sight of land, but I'm seldom further than 150 feet from it. And I can't see anybody else around me.
Yeah, but 150 feet from land is not a large distance.
It is straight down to the bottom of the ocean where I am, 150 feet of water.
Okay, I'm confused by that. Okay, listen, you guys have a nice weekend.
You too,
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you.
Talking in waves.
I knew I'd confuse him on that one.
I've slept on like the Carolina Princess continental shelf coming back from deep sea fishing.
Yeah.
But
You weren't steering the boat. Well,
I wasn't steering the boat. I could just lay up on the deck, my blanket.
My brother-in-law was over here and he was sound asleep. He was on the left side. I'm driving a boat. The sun's coming in. We've been fishing. I mean, I left Jacksonville like at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to head up towards Morehead.
Right.
So we've been out for a long time. And we'll go up there. Robbie's here and she's asleep in the back, sound asleep back there. There are 3 of us on the boat. She's laying down in the back, just snoring almost. I'm sure she was snoring, but I couldn't hear her. And then there's Thurman. He's sitting over here on the left side, port side of the boat. And he's sound asleep. And I'm driving along, and the sun is coming in at an angle straight towards the left side of my face.
So sleepy.
And I'm like, there is nothing out here. Gentle waves, just a slow. I better set the autopilot. And I put that sucker in autopilot, aim for New River Inlet. And, it was about 20 miles away or so, as I remember at that time. So I got me a nice little nap.
I don't know if I could do that. What if some fool on a speedboat come up near you and
he would have to get out? He would need to get out of the way. Those fool of a speedboat's not going to come near me and get, because they don't want to be.
I got to tell you about the newest thing I got on Facebook Messenger. Have you ever heard of Hollingsworth drywall? I've not. But anyway, they sent me a private message well, allegedly from Hollingsworth Drywall, whoever they are. Hello, sorry to bother you.
Hello.
As per the moderator's requirements,
Hello.
to prevent minors from joining, which I've not requested to join,
Hello.
please provide your age and one stock you own or have.
I've got stocks and bonds, and I have handcuffs, and my age is 117.
Who is Hollingsworth Drywall? Let me
And
look.
why do they want that missing? That let me lie to them. I'll lie to them in a heartbeat.
Hollingsworth Drywall. I got that and I was like, what? I blocked it, of course. Oh, it is Chris Hollingsworth. Call Hollingsworth Drywall Company for your drywall and painting
It
needs.
sounds. I think I know who this is. The company. I just don't understand those questions.
Oh, here's one. We had a guy doing our drywall and he walked off the job. I called these guys and they came by 20 minutes later and finished it. Talking in favor of Chris Holling.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, I think their page had probably been hacked.
I think it has.
First of all, I never asked to join anything. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give you my age and my
All
stocks.
right, next week we got a busy week.
Big week coming up.
Didn't we have Dr. Abrams today? Or was that next
No,
week?
that's next Friday.
Oh, you've already got
He's
next
up
week's
there.
up there. Okay,
I put
see.
next week up already.
Yeah. Oh, we got Ellie coming in on Monday.
Ellie Patino.
Hot dang.
Ospreys.
Get ready for the Ospreys.
And maybe Dylan with him. So
Okay.
Dylan may be coming in with him. And then on Tuesday, we've got Vicki Brown with Adoption First Animal Rescue.
Hey, cousin. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Remind me to
That's
remind
right.
Robbie to do something.
Yes. I need to bring in something
Bring in some
too.
stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
Okay. And then Wednesday's Dr. Rose
Uh-huh.
and Lisa Whitman Grice.
Yes,
She is
looking
with
forward to that.
the Onslow
Museum.
County Museum, and
Mhm.
she's going to talk to us about America 250. Thursday is our wonderful one and only Chris Miller, and Friday is Dr. Abrams, who's a cardiologist.
He is. He's
And
mine.
he's
He
going
belongs
to
to
tell
me
you,
personally.
well, I'm very interested in talking to him because the last time he was here, he was talking about a special test that you can take that will give an indication if you have any blockages or any heart issues. I want to ask him about that again.
Yeah, what you do is you get out here and you run around the
No.
block 10 times,
Mm.
and if you collapse, you may have an issue.
But you know, most people, when they have a heart attack, they didn't know they had an issue to begin with.
I didn't the first time I had one.
No, see, no, you didn't.
I was standing at the kitchen sink and had one.
And all that stuff that was happening a couple years ago here in the studio with you
That,
passing
that
out.
was
on-
not a heart attack.
No, but it was leading up to one.
I didn't have a heart attack.
No, you didn't have one. But had you not gone to the hospital the
I didn't
second time,
go to the hospital. I was taken to the hospital. I didn't even know where I was.
it's true. Y'all should have been here. It was not pleasant.
I
I'm
don't-
not going. Yes, you are. But yes, Dr. Abrams is your cardiologist.
I'll never forget they had me down and doing some stuff and whatever,
Right.
and they were checking things out. And I said, well, we need a transport. And I said, okay. And then Robbie had come over by that time. And I said, here, take this. I gave her my gun.
Right.
They said, what? I said, it's okay. It's okay. Don't get afraid. That's the only one I'm carrying. You're good. Let's go.
And then you went and was able to fly to New Bern.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can imagine what that bill was.
Yeah.
Mm. Anyway, okay. So everyone have a
Flying
great weekend.
coffin.
I don't.
We
like
will
it.
say it was great. They did a thing. I just have a phobia
Yeah,
of helicopters now.
I would too.
All right. We will see you on Monday morning.
That's
and
right.
Next week's going to be a very busy week. So get yourselves ready for it.
Just every day.
And thanks for being part of the show. We do appreciate it. You can willingly join us anytime you want to. Just give us a call. We want your opinions. And I hope most of you will disagree with me because it would be very boring otherwise.
Yeah, William,
to be
bring you
honestly with you. And I don't put stuff out there hoping you will disagree with me. I just tell you what I think because I have people ask me what I think, and unfortunately, apparently a whole lot of people agree with me,
Not always.
but a whole lot agree with me.
Right.
And those
Yeah,
that don't agree with me call.
Right.
So that's not, I would rather have why don't y'all who agree with me call and say you agree with me?
Mm-hmm.
At least make me feel good.
Jennifer will.
Jennifer does all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's my cousin.
Don't give away family secrets.
Yeah. What family secrets?
Yeah.
She's my cousin.
Yeah, don't tell. I mean, she's always calling and agreeing with you. Just soak that in.
Okay. I got to get Tommy Pollard in here. He's my cousin too.
That would be interesting.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay, you're live, you're local.
Mhm.
We are Real Talk.
Yes.
And we'll be back on Monday. Have a great
See you
weekend.
Monday.
I'd love to see you over at the Pelletier House tomorrow. Again, check our website if you want, our Facebook page if you want to know where it is.
Right.
Basically, it's downtown Jacksonville. If you're heading out of town towards Old Bridge or on Old
Right.
Bridge Street, before you get to the bridge, it's going to be there. But if you wait that long, you have to go across the bridge, turn around, and come back. So look for a parking space somewhere in the downtown area, and it's all within walking distance. I mean, you walk further than that to go to a mall where you go shopping in other towns, right? You don't
Correct.
you don't get parking spaces up front.
Correct.
They're all taken.
That's right.
Have a great weekend. Be safe. I
Absolutely.
don't want to read about you, talk about you, or anything else
Please.
on Monday unless you
Be
I
safe
see
on
you
the
do
roads.
something good. Safe, please, please,
Yes.
please. See you Monday. Have a great
Bye.
weekend.